We took a property from $850,000 to $1.6 million after renovations, all because of how we sourced the deal.
That's actually one of the most common questions we get on our channel is how do you find your amazing deals on properties? We're going to answer some of that today. And if you're a new or newer investor, I want you to stick around to the end of this because we are going to show you an amazing strategy that could get you started.
And make sure you leave a comment below if you have any questions about these different strategies we talk about.
And yeah, don't be shy about hitting the subscribe button.
So let's talk about the first 3 ways that we traditionally find properties. The first is the MLS. That is the multiple listing service. This is where agents all around the country are listing properties for sale. We're not just going and grabbing anything off of there. We actually do hunt it a little bit. We look for stuff that's been on the market for at least 60 days and it hasn't got any offers. Or maybe they just back on the market, so that's a BOM. This way that means that a deal fell through, something like that. We can hopefully basically negotiate something where there's an opportunity.
It's like retail shopping, and sometimes you look for what's on sale or what maybe is in the clearance section at a store.
The next thing we have is actually auctions, and that's something we talk a lot about on here. We actually wrote the book on it.
We go to foreclosure auctions all the time, and that is just bargain hunting at its finest. You're, in some cases, bidding on what I like to call a mystery box. And he's not wrong. We wrote the book on foreclosures. So if you've been watching our channel for a bit, you've definitely learned a lot about that.
And there's 2 different types of foreclosure states. There are judicial, non-judicial. We actually go to both.
Sure.
Yep.
We'll take a deal wherever we can find it.
Exactly. The key there, of course, though, if you've read our book or watched anything on our channel, is you're doing a lot, often as is, where is. So there's a lot of risk involved with it. So I'd be very cautious about that.
Yeah, you want to be very conservative in your bidding.
And that we've gotten a lot of deals with as well.
Incredible.
Yep, and the one we talked about at the beginning of this was a networking deal that we actually found. We were kind of looking at different deals, and a real estate agent kind of reached out to us, said that this one was kind of an owner-occupied 17-unit building.
Yeah, they were going to sell it, retire, and
exactly.
Yep.
They thought that we might be interested in it.
And they were right.
Yeah, so we kind of went through them, talked through the deal, and got to walk through the property, and there was a lot of value add because this was an owner distressed property. I think it was handed down to them.
I'm not sure. They owned it for a very long time.
Yeah.
And it was a very mom and pop run. So it's about as stereotypical as it gets. You know, the tenants would walk a check or cash down to the owner business that was in one of the commercial spaces and just pay rent whenever they had it.
Exactly. You know, we were able to get in. We did a whole walkthrough and thought there was a lot of value add. All the rents were way under marketed. Once again, this was someone who had no debt on the property. They had basically inherited it from their parent, and they were just kind of, they ran their business also on the bottom, and they were just happy to get anything in. They just didn't want any problems. And so the way they were looking at it is, if I get anything in, don't have to deal with anything, it's great. So there was a lot of deferred maintenance. So we've had to turn over every single unit, all the heating systems, to the point where there was also a little situation at the end. I'm not sure if you recall, I actually just met with the agents that kind of found the deal for us.
Okay.
I was meeting with them the other day, and they kind of brought this up. I had walked through the property first, and I always take pictures. And when we were getting about to close, there was a roof that they had kind of partially done, and someone all of a sudden it was white. Yeah. But it was white, painted with latex paint, and so they were kind of trying to hide off some stuff because they didn't really do the roof properly.
How do you not think you're gonna not notice that?
But it's a good thing I took pictures, and we actually then had to get a seller credit because it actually affected the substrate of the roof. And so we were able to get a credit on that, but that was something that came up just the other day when I was talking to them.
Funny. Yeah. It's been a little while on that.
It's been a while. That property, though, is singing. It's
amazing
beautiful.
Property. Yeah. The tenants there are super happy. They love the place. The businesses going into this downtown property now are growing, and the people in the community super happy that this property has been kind of revitalized. And we got that through networking, which the more you do, the easier it gets. So once you become known as somebody that's serious, somebody that's actually a player willing to buy a property, people are going to continue to reach out to you. If you were a customer or somebody that made a sale go through one time, you're going to be somebody that they're going to call the next time they have something that's smoking hot.
Hence, these people actually called me yesterday, and we went to one actually just down the street from that property.
I noticed they called you and they didn't call me. What the heck?
You were away.
My feelings are hurt.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
I took a couple days off, and he gets all the phone calls that I want. That hurts. All right. Okay, so do you remember earlier when I mentioned that there's some insights we might be able to share with new investors that are helping them get their start? Well, I want to tell you a little bit more about it here, and it's called lead flow. So the cool thing about lead flow is it makes somebody like me look like they know what they're doing.
All you have to really do is sign up, and then you can put in your zip code, and it kind of pulls up a bunch of properties and different criteria that you can set up. For instance, high equity, so you can kind of find properties that basically people have low mortgages on.
Yeah.
And they're kind of pulling the data from like the MLS and also like the Registry of Deeds.
I mean, you can tweak this thing like 30 different ways. It's crazy.
Right, and they also have AI aspects too, where they're pulling it and kind of giving you basically, what you're looking to do. If you're looking to try to wholesale or maybe looking to keep it as a rental, they can kind of give you a score as to both what your goals are to kind of figure out what might make more sense than others. You still need to do your own numbers, do your own due diligence, of course.
Still,
but it helps give you kind of dumb it down and make it a little simpler.
I agree. I feel like within an hour or two of using this, you're going to be hitting the phones and making calls to make some property deals.
Exactly.
I mean, it takes like the guesswork out of stuff. It makes it so you kind of don't really forget a category of things. You're going to know what the property would be worth with an ARV once it's all fixed up. If you talk to the person and the seller of the property and you find out, gosh, it needs a little bit more rehab than you think, well, guess what? You've got wholesale information on it too.
Yep. Something else all of you beginners might want to know, you can also access a free legal wholesaling course on LeadFlow so you can feel confident making your first investments.
The other cool thing is you need to fund these deals somehow. So it's going to help you connect with...
Oh, yep, exactly. Other hard money lenders or something like that if you want to make deals happen real quick.
People ask us all the time, where do you get the money to invest? How do you get a loan? How do you finance these things? This is going to help connect you with that.
Don't you have a bag of money under your mattress?
I mean, I'd sleep. It's not as big of a bag or as big of a lump in my mattress as I would like, though.
Fair enough.
So if you're a beginner at this, or honestly, if you just want to make it a little bit easier to start putting together deals, take a second, look at the link below or above or wherever we put it, click on it, check it out, and get a 7-day free trial. So in a nutshell, there you have it. Finding properties to invest in doesn't have to be a maze, and we've given you a few different options like networking, MLS, auctions, and using programs like LeadFlow to help you connect with properties.
As always, make sure you like and subscribe because we're coming out with new videos every Thursday, and stay tuned for that next one.